Today I'm going to show you how to create a 3D snowflake, or it might be a 3D poinsettia flower, really whatever you see in it. So we're going to be needing some paper, some square paper that's perfectly square. We're going to need a pencil, a glue stick, or liquid glue, whichever one you have, and you're going to need some scissors. So the first I'd like to show you is the snowflake. So I'm going to start with my white paper, and we're going to do one piece at the time. Okay, so turn your paper and look at your square. You have an 8.5 inch square that I've cut for you already. And then you turn it so that it's a diamond, and you can see how to fold it. We're looking for lines of symmetry, places to fold our square to create a right triangle. So we're going to pick up the bottom corner of our diamond, fold it up to the top, and smush it. And take, or you can look at it either way, take the two furthest corners away from each other, line them up, and fold the best that you can. And I like to rub my finger across it to make it nice and neat. And one more time, we're going to fold this paper. So that's 3 times we're gonna fold it total. Folding it in half. Okay, now we're done folding. We folded it 3 times. Now we're going to create a different shape. Turn your triangle, your right triangle, and keep turning it until it looks like a pyramid from Egypt. Okay, so now we have our pyramid. We want to turn this into more of a kind of a hill shape, not necessarily a pyramid. So let's use our pencil for this. We're gonna notice that one side pops up, okay? We're not gonna start drawing on this side because this is the pop-up side. We're gonna keep that down. We are going to start drawing on the folded side, the side that stays together. So we're gonna scoot up from the bottom, we just want to change the top of our shape. So we're not going to start way down low. We only want to change the top. So I'm going to start about midways, and I'm going to lightly with my pencil draw up, curve up, 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 and then over till it touches the other side. And this will work fine. Now, that line needs to go from one side to the other towards the top. Then we're going to take our scissors, keeping it folded. We're going to cut on that line, and we will have a little bit of trash. So we're going to put that off to the side. When you peekaboo it open, it will look kind of like a bird, and it's all connected. So we're going to leave that connected. Now, we folded 3 times. We've cut 1 time to make a hill. And now we're going to cut our paper 2 times in some little slits. But these slits are going to be curves that we're going to draw first, just to help us out on this first time. Now, this time we are going to use the pop-up side, the side that's trying to fly away. We are going to start there. And we're actually going to hold it down with one hand, and we're going to find the bottom. Find the bottom of our shape that's straight. We're going to scoot over, starting on the bottom, a little over from the edge, and we're going to draw up, 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 and over, and stop. It's kind of like we're following this angle. We're following it like a rainbow that stops. Okay, there's one line. Now we're going to scoot over. Maybe use a finger space would help you make a little dot. That's a great idea. Finger space is a good idea. And then we're going to draw up and over, but don't go all the way down because we're not going to be cutting this shape off. We're making some slits. So holding your paper, you're done drawing. We drew 2 lines. We're going to cut on our drawn line. We're going to stop, cut, turning, stop, and it will look like this. Now we're going to open it. Pretty. Open it again. Beautiful. And this time be gentle and pull gentle because it may get stuck. We'll have to use our fingers to wiggle that paper open, and we have this beautiful piece of paper that we have cut, and it is just gorgeous. Now we are going to create some curves and some loops. Remember, we want this to be 3D, not flat just like a little piece of paper. We want it to have dimension and depth. It's already trying to pop up, excuse me, and we can see there's some spaces that we could work with. But look how it's the same going all the way around. We call that radial balance, radial symmetry. That means no matter how I turn this shape, it is the same. It's a mirror image. So when we're creating our loops and our curves, we want to do that in a rotation so that we can make sure that it's radially balanced. So I'm going to pick up this piece here, and I'm just going to practice. I'm going to loop it down to create some dimension. And really, you can come up with your own way, but I'm going to show you my way. If you're using liquid glue, you will want to just use a tiny little dot on this part. I'm going to use stick glue right there, and I'm just going to rub some glue right here. And then I'm going to place it and pull it as far as I want to, and then hold it, just pinch it down, and it will stay. Now, whatever I did to this little beautiful piece, I'm going to do here. So I'm going to turn it, do the same thing, repeat, push down, okay, and then what am I going to do here? Yep, the same thing. I'm going to rub some glue on that piece and fold it down. We don't want to fold down perfectly here. We like the loops and dimension of this part. And I've got one more piece to do. I'm going to fold this down and hold. Now, the first part of our little sculpture is finished. Look how beautiful. We have these loops that are sticking up, and it's so pretty. Now we're going to repeat this process again on our other piece of paper, and I will show you how it all fits together. Another option on drawing your curves is to start from the folded side, and I'd like to show you what that looks like, opposite of what the first direction I gave you. So if you start on the folded side of your pyramid, oops, I forgot to cut my curve. Let's do that. Draw a curve and cut. Make our hill shape. Now I'm ready. I have those lines to follow. I'm going to use a finger space, make a dot, and now I'm going to jump up and over, finger space, up and over. Now I'm going to cut those two lines, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. Okay, it's time to put our beautiful pieces together. You should have cut 2 radially balanced pieces and looped them to create these 3D pieces. Here's some options. You can stack them and let the shape peekaboo through, so we wouldn't stack them perfectly in line. You could spin it just a little bit to let it peekaboo through. Okay, so here's an option. So all you would have to do is put some glue right here and then place it together, and it's ready to go. Another option would be to create a front and back, and that would be the same thing. Go ahead and peekaboo the shape so you can see it through the negative space there, and just glue it down on the back. So I will show you that. I'll go ahead and get my glue stick. Put some glue. Place it where I want it to go and push it down for just a second, and it should be good. we have a finished, beautiful snowflake. And another option, I just showed you how to create the cuts from the opposite side. This creates a whole nother radially balanced piece, which is beautiful. We might even add it as a third layer if I wanted to. It's really up to the artist here. But here's a beautiful snowflake. I'd like to also show you some other things that you could make. You definitely could use colorful paper to create these, to create a whole nother level. It's so beautiful of contrast. This is using 3 pieces stacked. Beautiful. You can use construction paper to create a poinsettia flower. Let me show you how. To create the look of a poinsettia flower, you could use green and red construction paper. Repeat the processes that I've showed you and layer them. So I would layer the green on bottom and line up my red for the poinsettia flower and place it on top. How beautiful to create a poinsettia during this time of year. I love the red and green, which are complementary colors. On the color wheel, put a little glue there and just press it down, and you're all set for a poinsettia. And if you cut, you can also play around with gluing the loops in different ways. I'll show you what that looks like on the back. You might create a different kind of flower. It's up to you. Have fun with this.